The screen explodes with a chaotic split-second montage. Prescription pills clattering into a trash can, a neon dollar sign shattering, and a dusty box of baking soda sliding into frame. Cue a voice dripping with urgency. What if I told you 90% of your medicine cabinet is a scam? The camera zooms into the baking soda box as a heartbeat thumps louder. Cut to a flash of shocking visuals. Glowing teeth, a foot peeling off fungus like dead skin, a gym rat lifting weights with baking soda glowing on his water bottle. This $1 miracle isn't just for cookies. It's a life hack Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. The music drops as the screen freezes on a close-up of the box. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll be throwing out half your meds. The scene shifts to a cluttered kitchen. A frazzled mom, Sarah, slumps over a countertop littered with antacids, antifungal creams, and painkillers. Her toddler wails off-screen. Meet Sarah. Last month, she spent $200 on pills and potions and still felt like garbage. Close-up of her clutching her stomach after a spicy taco night. Cut to her scrolling through her bank account, groaning. Then she found this. The camera pans to a half-empty baking soda box tucked behind flour. Cue a record scratch. Yeah, that baking soda. The one collecting dust next to your expired spices. Sarah grabs it, squints skeptically, and the screen flashes white. What happened next? Let's just say her pharmacist misses her. The screen splits. Left side shows a grandma baking cookies. Right side explodes into a lab-coated scientist holding a baking soda volcano. You think baking soda is just for fluffy cakes and science fair disasters? Wrong. Cut to a TikTok-style montage. A teen scrubbing armpits with baking soda. A guy chugging it pre-workout. A woman dumping it into a bath. This stuff's the Swiss Army knife of health hacks. Memes pop up. A crying Wojak holding pills versus a smug Chad with baking soda. When your fridge smells like a zombie's gym bag, baking soda's your exorcist. A fake infomercial parody flashes. Tired of wasting cash? Slaps sodium bicarbonate on it. The audience laughs, but the message sticks. This ain't your granny's kitchen trick anymore. The screen plunges into a microscopic world. Acidic blood cells sizzle like bacon. Enter baking soda particles. Tiny superheroes neutralizing the acid. Your kidneys are screaming. Help? Baking soda? It's their sidekick. Cut to a blurred face interviewee. I was on dialysis, then my doc said, try this. Now I'm gardening again. Stats flash. 67% slower kidney decline. Backed by Harvard studies. A lab beaker fizzes ominously. But wait, chugging this like Gatorade? Bad idea. A blooper reel. Someone chugging baking soda, gagging and spitting it out. Don't be Dave. Here's how to not wreck your kidneys. 5. Interactive pause, 3:30 to 4 o'clock. The screen freezes. A retro game-style timer appears. Pause. Do you have baking soda? Race to your kitchen. Go. Upbeat music blares as text overlays. Type, found it in the comments. 5, 4, 3. Cut to shaky cam footage of the crew sprinting to grab baking soda. 2, 1. Time's up. A comment floods and, at Wellness Queen, OMG, it's in my fridge? The host grins. Keep it close. You'll need it for the next trick. Stay tuned. Next up, how to turn this $1 box into a dentist's worst nightmare. Fade to a gloved hand scrubbing stained teeth with baking soda. The audience is already clicking watch later. The screen slams into a close-up of coffee-stained teeth, yellow as old piano keys. Meet Tom. His morning latte habit turned his smile into a caution tape. Cut to Tom awkwardly hiding his mouth on a Zoom call. Asterisk, he dropped 100 on whitening strips and got results flatter than his Wi-Fi signal. Asterisk operator, the screen splits. Tom's before minus and minus after smile versus a 50 whitening kit. Why pay for hype when your fridge is hiding a Hollywood smile? The camera pans to a sizzling plate of nachos, cheese dripping, jalapenos glaring. Last night's dinner? A one-way ticket to heartburn hell. Cut to a bloated guy, Steve, clutching his chest like he's auditioning for a zombie flick. Steve here thought chugging Pepto was his only escape until he found this. A shaky hand pours baking soda into water. Chug this nuclear fizz bomb and cut to Steve's face melting into relief. It's like a fire extinguisher for your guts. But hold up, flash to a lab, a stomach model filled with cola, dump in baking soda, and it erupts like a science fair volcano. Too much? You'll burp like a frat boy on spring break. Steve's wife tosses him a measuring spoon. 1 teaspoon, cowboy, unless you want to redecorate your bathroom. Cut to Steve, smugly eating another nacho. Spicy revenge? Now serve guilt-free. The screen glitches. Ominous music swells. Warning, what you're about to see. Big Soda doesn't want you to know. Cut to a shadowy figure, sunglasses, trench coat, whispering. They buried the truth for decades. Flash to a classified document titled Baking Soda, the People's Medicine. But the tension snaps. Turns out it's just Steve's conspiracy theorist neighbor, Dave. Relax, Dave. It's not that deep. A montage parodies over-the-top baking soda fails. A guy bathing in it, cue pruny skin. Another snorting it. Not a nose job, Kyle. Moral of the story? Don't be Dave. Moderation. Or end up a meme. Cut back to Steve, now using baking soda to clean his grill. Stick around. The next trick's so wild, you'll question reality. The screen zooms into a gnarly, peeling foot, texture like a zombie's kneecap. Meet Jess. Her gym's locker room gifted her a fungal souvenir. Close-up of her scratching her foot raw. She tried every cream and still felt like a walking petri dish. Enter baking soda. Jess dunks her foot into a foamy soak. Time-lapse of the infection fading, skin healing. 3 days later, her feet could model for sandal ads. But wait, add gross-out humor. Squelchy sound effects as fungus flakes float in the water. Disgusting? Absolutely. Satisfying? Hell yeah. Jess grins, holding up her new foot like Simba in The Lion King. Total cost? Less than your gym's shady protein shake. A disclaimer flashes. If your foot starts glowing, call a priest. Not medical advice. The screen fades to a bathroom floor. A woman, Mia, sits crying, clutching a toilet roll. Mia's vacation was ruined by a Utah until she found this life raft. Cut to her chugging baking soda water. Yes, it tastes like ocean regret. But 20 minutes later, Mia struts out of the bathroom in a poolside bikini, fireworks exploding behind her. Science says baking soda neutralizes P acid, so it stings less than your ex's texts. Flash to a study graph. 80% less pain. 100% more poolside margaritas. But reality check. A doctor pops up. UTIs can turn deadly. Baking soda's a bandage, not a cure. Mia nods, chugging water like a champ. When life hands you a UTI, make lemon-flavored revenge. Asterisk. The screen cuts to a cozy kitchen. The host holds up the baking soda box. Look, this isn't magic. It's a tool. Use it right and you'll save cash, skip side effects, and maybe troll your doctor. A comment scrolls by. At Real Talk, Jen. I tried number 5. No lie, it worked. The host smirks. Still think it's AI BS? Go raid your pantry. Prove me wrong. Fade to bloopers. The crew sneezing into baking soda. A failed volcano experiment. Mistakes were made. But hey, that's science. And with fiery text. Like, if you're ditching one useless med today, subscribe for more unhinged life hacks. The screen zooms into a throbbing canker sore, red and angry like a tiny volcano. Meet Alex. His big job interview, ruined by this mouth demon. Cut to Alex rehearsing lines in the mirror, wincing mid-sentence. He tried numbing gels and cried like a teething baby. Enter baking soda. Alex mixes half a teaspoon into warm water. Swishes aggressively. Cue a comedic spit take as he gags. Tastes like salty regret. But 24 hours later, time-lapse of the sore shrinking to nothing. His mouth smoother than a used car salesman's pitch. Flash to Alex nailing the interview, fist pumping in the parking lot. Total cost? Less than your morning latte. But wait, cut to a warning. Swish too hard, and you'll baptize your bathroom mirror. Gentle wins the race. A dentist pops in. Works, but don't ignore recurring sores. Could be stress or your ex's bad karma. The screen slams into a gym bro collapsing under a barbell. Face red as a tomato. Meet Jake. His max effort lasted 10 seconds, like his dating app matches. Cut to Jake chugging a murky baking soda cocktail pre-workout. Chugging this feels like swallowing a science fair project, but the results? Cue a Rocky-style montage. Jake deadlifts, sprints, flexes, with a glowing baking soda power overlay. Lactic acid? Neutralized. Ego? Fully intact. But reality check. Jake chugs too much, then sprints to the bathroom. Lesson. Start small, or you'll sprint to the porcelain throne. Split screen. Jake's before, wheezing, versus after, smirking with veins popping. Why buy pre-workout price like gold bars? Your pantry's got the cheat code. The screen fades to a hospital room. Meet Linda. Her kidneys were quitting faster than her New Year's resolutions. Close-up of her dialysis machine beeping ominously. Her doctor said, "Try this or start writing your will." Linda stirs baking soda into water, side-eyeing the camera. Tastes like despair. But blood tests don't lie. Stats flash. 67% slower decline. Science says mic drop. Cut to Linda gardening. Smirk on her face. Now her biggest problem? Keeping her tomatoes alive. But a doctor interrupts. This isn't a green light to mainline baking soda. Follow. Dosage. Or kidney stones will throw you a rave. The camera pans to gnarled hands struggling to open a pickle jar. Meet Edna. Her arthritis made her feel 100, and she's only 62. Edna glares at the jar like it owes her money. Pills made her foggy till she found this. She mixes baking soda into tea, chugs it with a grimace. Tastes like chalky betrayal. But 2 weeks later, time-lapse of Edna's hands. Stiff claws, jazz hands. She's opening jars, knitting scarves, and plotting world domination. Cut to her grandkids fleeing as she chases them with a water gun. Warning, overdo it and you'll bloat like a Thanksgiving turkey. A rheumatologist smirks. Not a cure, but hey, neither are your grandkids' thoughts and prayers. The screen opens on a foot swollen like a balloon, redder than a stop sign. Meet Dave. His big toes hosting a uric acid rave, and everyone's invited. Dave howls, ice pack slipping off. He popped painkillers like candy until his liver sent an SOS. Enter baking soda. Dave mixes it into water, chugging with tears. Tastes like ocean floor. But 48 hours later, his foot deflates, normal color returning. Dave's back to mowing his lawn and ignoring his wife's honey-do list. Flash to a lab. Uric acid crystals dissolving under a microscope. Science says, bye crystals. Dave says, bye limp. But a doc warns, chug this daily, and your blood pressure will throw a tantrum. Moderation, Dave. The screen cuts to the host leaning on a kitchen counter, baking soda box in hand. Look, I'm not saying dump your meds, but if you're tired of flushing cash for Band-Aids, this one box might surprise you. The host grins. Still think it's AI BS? Grab that box. Prove us wrong. Bloopers roll. The crew accidentally making a baking soda snowstorm. Someone sneezing into the mix. Mistakes? We've got a playlist. Science isn't pretty, but neither is your medicine cabinet. Fade to fiery text. Smash like if you're ditching one scam today. Subscribe for more rebellion against Big Pharma. The screen opens on a tissue mountain piled higher than Everest. Meet Karen. Her cold turned her into a snotty mess, and her co-workers fled like she cursed them. Close-up of her red nose, sneezing into a baking soda gargle. Tastes like salty regret, but 10 minutes later, time-lapse of Karen blowing her nose. Mucus transforms from toxic sludge to clear liquid. Her sinuses? Clearer than her ex's intentions. Flash to a parody of a 90s infomercial. A cheesy host holds up baking soda like it's the holy grail. Tired of tissues? Bake. Your germs. Away. Cut to Karen dancing in pajamas. Tissues raining down. Warning. Don't snort this. You'll sneeze out a snowstorm. A doctor deadpants. Still contagious. But at least you'll feel like a superhero. The screen dims to black and white lab footage. A researcher pipettes baking soda into a petri dish of cancer cells. This isn't a miracle, but it's a glimmer of hope. Piano music swells as the cells shrivel under the alkaline assault. In mice, baking soda made tumors flinch. In humans, we're still fighting. Cut to a survivor, face blurred, holding a baking soda box. My chemo was hell, but this, it bought me time. Stats flash. 43% slower spread in trials. Not a cure, but a weapon. A lab-coated doctor steps in. This is science, not magic, but every weapon counts. The screen fades to a hashtag. Hashtag spread hope, not hype. The camera zooms into a pit stain so rank, flies dive bomb it. Meet Chad. His natural musk cleared a subway car twice. Chad sniffs his pit, gags, and grabs baking soda. He slathers it on like frosting and waits. Cut to Chad strutting shirtless through a crowd. People lean in, not away. No chemicals. No lies. Just Chad smelling like a beach breeze. Flash to study. 86% odor reduction. Science says drop the deo. But reality bites. Chad overplies, sneezes, and becomes a walking snowman. Less is more Chad. Unless you want armpit blizzards. A comment pops. At Eco Queen, my pits haven't smelled as clean since 1999. The screen floods with rapid-fire text. Warning, kidneys hate sodium. High blood pressure? Skip it. Pregnant? Ask your doc. Allergic? Don't be a hero. Cut to bloopers. A crew member chugging baking soda, then sprinting to a trash can. R.I.P. Dave's dignity. Another tries a baking soda face mask. It dries into a cement crust. Pro tip, not a skincare routine. A failed volcano experiment erupts onto the camera lens. Science isn't pretty. Neither are your life choices. The host laughs. We messed up so you don't have to. The host slams the baking soda box onto a table. Look, Big Pharma won't send you a thank you note, but your wallet will. A comment storm floods the screen. At Frugal Mom, cured my kid's foot funk. At Gym Rat Mike, pre-workout hack legit. The host grins. Still think it's AIBS? Go. Try. One. Thing. Cut to baking soda fireworks exploding into text. Like, if you're ditching one scam, subscribe to stick it to the system. Bloopers roll. The crew high-fiving, then sneezing in unison. Stay messy. Stay curious. Stay cheap. Fade to black. The host reappears, holding a battered baking soda box. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a tool. Use it smart, save cash, and laugh at the suckers buying $50 miracle curers. Comments flash. At Real User 123, tried 3 hacks. Mind blown. At Skeptic Gone Wild. Okay, you win. The host smirks. Still here? Go. Your fridge is calling. Fade to a baking soda volcano erupting peacefully, because why not?